news in men's volleyball. Number 4, Hawaii, and number 15, Ball State, prime for a sensational Sunday night showdown here from Muncie. Amber Seaman, Mick Tidger with our ESPN Plus crew. Hawaii comes in, Amber, 83 straight weeks in the top 4 in the national poll, and all they've done to start the season, a 5-1 record.
It has been so impressive to watch this Hawaii team over the last couple of years, and I know they're going to try to keep that top 4 ranking for weeks to come, and Ball State's going to give them a big challenge. But the reason that they've been able to be in this top 4 for so long is just they've had a ton of experience at key positions. So I'm really excited how to see some of these fresh faces come in for Hawaii, see what they can do to maintain this top 4 ranking.
And Ball State getting some experience back as well in Texas. They dropped 2 matches against USC and Stanford, but the rotation's starting to settle in just a little bit.
Yeah, they're feeling their groove, feeling their rhythm, getting people where they need to be out on the court. Both teams kind of have a lot of depth on that bench, and it's just putting those key pieces together to secure a victory. And Ball State's been fun to watch the last couple of matches, even if they haven't fallen their way. So I know they're looking to respond with a big win tonight.
You talk about fun to watch. Trent Rosenthal's just a freshman for Hawaii, but Amber, he has burst onto the scene as the table setter.
He has. These first 6 matches for his collegiate debut have been incredibly impressive. He's currently top 10 in the NCAA in assists per set. And you have to remember that he is just 17 years old. He graduated high school an entire year early to come train with Hawaii to try to take over the reins of Jakob Tele. He's done so in very impressive fashion because he's just so cool, calm, and collected out on that floor. He does not play like a freshman, and I'm excited to see how he's going to lead the Hawaii offense to get a victory against the Cardinals.
Should have known you were going to pick a center today, Amber.
I always do, right?
Flip it over to Ball State, who has experience with Tanashi and Davazucheva last year. First team All-MIVA, just his 3rd match back tonight.
Yes, he is so back and ready to play. He averaged 4 kills per set last weekend against USC and Stanford. And Mr. T is just one of those players that is so fun to watch, not only for his pure athleticism and his ability to make crazy plays, but his fantastic celebrations as well, too. I know he's looking to pump up this Worthen crowd by taking some big swings, hitting some big serves, and getting big blocks, and really just give Hawaii all he's got. I'm excited for this one.
Now before first serve, let's send it over to Sam for the first time tonight. What's up, Sam?
Hey, Mick. Well, for Ball State fans, Worthen Arena is the volleyball capital of the world, but many Rainbow Warriors fans think that they might be able to make a case of their own. Not only has Hawaii won 2 of the last 3 men's national championships, they've also outdrawn the Cardinals at home in terms of attendance this year by over 18,000 fans with 3 less home matches. Ball State is still very much a place that cares about its volleyball, but its capital is under attack tonight.
Hawaii and Ball State have 2 of the best fan bases, and today they meet in Muncie and inside Worthen. It's Fannis Buckles to get us underway. Set 1 from Worthen. Off we go, and Buckles pushes a little too long, and Hawaii's on the board early.
That's natural, right? Getting those first serve jitters out of the way. I mean, someone's got to do it. So I know Buckles wishes he could get that one back, but it gives Ball State a good chance to come out swinging the first point.
And quickly serving Trent Rosenthal, Amber's player to watch. Ball State's first touch from Patrick Rogers, and it slams home.
Looks like a little tip drill there. Troy wasn't able to quite get his hand underneath it. I know Ball State is wanting to start out swinging first, but sometimes you got to get those tip shots in early to get the defense thinking about it.
Bringing to the freshman, Brandon Savitsky-Lind from Roscoe, Illinois, to the service line for Ball State. Rosenthal sets it up for the outside touch, and there is a Hawaii point.
You could see the frustration on Davazucheva's face. He just wanted that block so bad, just got caught up in that net. But I like that Hawaii is trying to find Hawkes early and often. I think he is a key point for this offense, so I know they're going to try to get him going front row and back row.
And he put Hawkes on the service line. Rogers the save for a moment. It trickles out. Hawkes has been lethal from the front row, but also when you put him back on the service line, he has been sensational. He is now just 3 service aces away from moving into the top 10 in program history. 96 career aces. And that is why.
I love his celebration here, but obviously he plays so well because he is so experienced. You can see he gets a perfect toss, and he's able to just unload on this serve. And Ball State's really got to start communicating and try to pass this tough serve from Hawkes.
That ball just spins differently.
It does. He gets great topspin on it.
Rogers digs it. And Ndabazusheva with the swing, and this one curls out. Cardinals clamoring for a challenge, and Donan Cruz says, I'll do that.
They were just so convinced immediately. They were just already ready to call for that touch here. You can see that Ndabazusheva has a triple block up on him. Hawaii knows that Ball State is trying to go out to Ndabazusheva, but you can see he's trying to call for that that left hand of Galloway, just nicking that pinky or ring finger. That's what the touch that they're looking for is.
A lot of opportunities for that ball to hit someone's hands.
Oh yeah, when you got 6 hands in your face, hopefully you can hit one of them. And I think watching that replay, I think they'll quickly overturn this one. It looked like it hit Galloway's left hand.
Yep, see the hand bend backwards.
Now in real time, I honestly thought that ball landed in, but as you can see on the replay, I was not correct on that. But it did touch Galloway's hand, so hopefully that'll be a reversal for the Cardinal point.
Also, just the respect that Ndabazusheva pulls to have 3 blockers in his face.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't just have 3 blockers because you're not a great hitter, right? Obviously, he is one of those players that they are going to try to stop because they know Ball State's offense runs through Ndabazusheva.
After no deliberation, it is a Cardinals point. That feels much needed too, Amber. Instead of 5-1, 4-2 with the serve.
Yeah,
massive.
You get to relax a little bit. Now, obviously, you're still trying to get every point, but you feel a little bit more comfortable only being down 2.
Rosenthal hits Voss in stride. The middles haven't had the prototypical season yet for Hawaii.
Right,
Through 6 matches, but when Voss is in rotation, it's tough.
And this is something that I had been watching for earlier this week coming into tonight because honestly, Rosenthal needs to get his connection solidified with Voss, and what a good start to the match with getting Voss a great swing like that.
Puts Ball State in disarray defensively. Now Rosenthal goes to the outside, and this one's off Pitlack. And it's Todd with the swing. He comes off 16 kills against Purdue Fort Wayne. Todd is playing some of his best ball.
I've been very impressed with Todd over the last 2 matches against Fort Wayne. And I mean, tonight he's just continuing that trend. That was a great set by Rosenthal. Gave Todd his entire shot selection. He just found that line and took advantage of it.
Machado sets it, and a quick finish from Will Patterson, the freshman from Loveland, Ohio.
I like that both sides are getting their middles going. What's great about that is that they're getting their middles going on imperfect passes. So typically when we're in system, that's when those middles will get set. But I like that both sides are trying to run their middles a little bit out of system as well too.
And there is an ace for Ball State for the freshman Patterson.
It's always satisfying to get that kill and then immediately get the ace right after it. Not that I got many kills as a setter, but I can totally empathize with that situation.
You put up more than your fair share.
I tried to, at least.
You were sneaky about it. 2-point affair no longer. Straight back to the middle. This one's Nooster, the redshirt sophomore out of Indianapolis.
I know he's happy to be playing in front of a lot of his fans, his home crowd tonight too. Such a cool experience for Nooster to, be someone from Columbus, Indiana that gets to go play volleyball at Hawaii, one of the top teams annually in men's NCAA volleyball.
He graduated from Columbus North High School as Buckholz slams one home.
These first couple of points have really impressed me with how often these middles are getting set. I knew that there was firepower on the pins for either side, but I am loving these setters forcing these middles right now.
Rosenthal for Todd. And the middles are going to be key pieces for both of these sides tonight. We talked about Rosenthal setting up the middles. So far, that's been a pretty consistent move.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we haven't quite seen from Rosenthal up to this point. I think he's really pin heavy in the first 6 matches, but that's natural as a setter. You got to build that connection with your middles, and I think he's really settling into his groove here.
There's Rogers, touch from Todd. Hawkes, Pitlack pops it free, Machado the stop. And Navazusheva free swing, and there's no touch this time. It is a Hawaii point.
I mean, that is a fantastic dig by Pitlack, but it turned into that out of system, and I think Rogers and Navazusheva were both looking at each other like, are you going to swing? Am I going to swing? Who's going to take this ball? It was a good up, but you got to find court on that one.
There's Galloway. Rogers pings one to the floor. First kill tonight for Patrick Rogers, the sophomore out of Rutherford, New Jersey. This is going to be a common occurrence.
I have been so impressed with Rogers just fitting in seamlessly with this Ball State offense. I think he's been doing a great job hitting from wherever he's needed to be, whether that's on the outside pin, the right side pin. He's going to get set a lot, and I'm looking to see how he'll respond.
And Navazusheva the free swing. Hawkes the roll. Mr. T once more, popped up. Choi the stop, but to no avail.
It just barely went out of bounds over that antenna, but you could see that, or outside that antenna, Choi is making some great touches on these hard hits from Ball State. I've been really impressed with his defense so far.
Leads the team in digs with 48. Hawkes. Machado out for Navazusheva. And there's what Navazusheva can do. Create the chaos to where everybody thinks he's going to hit it hard and then pulls up.
That is what has been so fun to watch him develop over these last 2 years, is that his first season, he was hitting everything hard, and now he's developed that shot selection, that cat and mouse game of, oh, everyone knows that I can hit it hard, but watch what happens when I tip it short too.
Ball State trying to tie this thing up here in Muncie. And they won't yet. Nooster.
Hawaii is handling these passes from Ball State serves very, very well. It's allowing Rosenthal to run his middles a lot more, and I think that's demanding that respect from the Ball State defense. And so now they're trying to figure out where exactly this ball is going to be set.
Machado. It's Savitsky-Lind.
And same thing with Ball State. After those first couple of aces from Hawkes, they have been able to handle the Hawaii serve a lot better as well, too. You can see on this one, G. Voss was hanging out with Vanis Buckles, and that left Savitsky-Lind one-on-one over there, and it came up with a big kill. So both teams have to respect the other team's offense.
Rejected with authority. Savitsky-Lind.
Wow, that's a great touch by Savitsky-Lind, just pressing his hands over that net. There was nowhere else to hit that ball. Great block.
Voss sends it right back. Voss, the senior middle blocker from Brazil. Couple of kills in the early going.
He's been such a staple for this Hawaii offense for his last couple of years here, and it's just so fun to watch him develop this connection. We're watching the connection with Rosenthal develop before our eyes, so it'll be a fun one to watch back in April and May once they've had a whole season together.
There's Rosenthal with the ace. That's 15th year head coach Charlie Wade. He's won over 300 games as the head coach for Hawaii. Has put this Rainbow Warriors team to a number 4 record, their number 4 ranking. There's the touch.
Great heads-up play by Ndavazucheva. He saw that he had a huge double block in front of him, and he just swiped it right off of Todd and Voss on that one. I mean, there's really nothing else for him to do, so good heads-up play by Ndavazucheva.
Savitsky Lind, Choi the stop. Long run. Haka somehow saved it. Ndavazucheva, though, lines one up. Another stop. Cam Gray sends it for Machado, and there's no room left, especially when Voss is waiting for it on the other side.
And that's a tough ball. You can see that Gray was trying to set the tempo on this free ball. Unfortunately, Machado's back row, so he can't reach that ball over the net. When it's that tight, it's super hard for a back row setter. He could only single hand set it, and unfortunately for Cardinals, Voss was right there ready to block that ball.
Savitsky Lind sends it right over. Tell you what, Savitsky Lind starting to get some more run with this Ball State team, and it's paying off.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, with each and every swing, he's getting more comfortable. With each and every block touch, he's getting more comfortable. That confidence is growing, and that's what you need if you're a Ball State Cardinals fan. You want your players to have that confidence out there, that ability to do anything that they're asked of.
He's a freshman. This just his 5th ever career match as Mr. T sends it to the net.
I like that so far, both teams are pretty low error in the service error category. I mean, on Thursday night against Purdue Fort Wayne, Hawaii had 22 service errors. That's almost giving up an entire set of points just based on service errors. But when you have two high offensive power teams, you guys are trying to get them out of system, so those errors will come. But I like how low error they're playing for these first 16 points.
But it helps when you can throw it to him in the middle. But the hit percentage, you're talking about lack of errors on the service line. Also, hitting-wise, both these teams hitting above 460.
I know, and these teams are great offensive teams statistically, but they don't typically hit this high. So it's been so fun to watch. This is everything we could have asked for a matchup between these two teams.
Hawaii typically 372, Ball State's 299 this year. Machado whacks one home, and it's all tied at 14.
I love that from Machado. As a setter, you have to be offensive, and I love that he was going in. So a couple of times you can see he goes up to set. He went up to hit, and sometimes he'll go up and do that, but actually set the ball. So he keeps you guessing, playing that chess game. Is he going to hit it? Is he going to set it? I love it.
Who wins the race to 15? Hawkins plants one off Ndavazucheva. The stop by Savitsky Lind. Did it touch Hawaii? No, off the swing from Buchholz. What a way to start things in a top 15 matchup from Worthen. Set one, not disappointing. Both teams blistering on offense. We'll finish up set one when we come back on ESPN. '15th season for head coach Charlie Wade, and the last 2 years have been some of the best in Hawaii history. 56 combined wins, most ever over a 2-year period for Hawaii.
I mean, look at this resume right here. Charlie Wade is one of those coaches that's going to go down in the men's volleyball history books just for how he's been able to coach this Hawaii team. What I love about him is how calm he is on the sidelines. I mean, you could be down 5 points and he looks like you're up 20. So he just has that same demeanor, and I think that helps his team kind of stay focused and stay locked in, whether things are going well, whether things aren't going well. What I also love about him, too, is that he's an Indiana homegrown hero here as well, too. So just north of Muncie in Warsaw, Indiana, I know he's happy to probably be back and see some familiar faces.
The 2019 AVCA National Coach of the Year, back-to-back Big West Coach of the Year, and Donan Cruz has done just about everything you can in 2+ seasons as a Division I men's volleyball coach. One National Coach of the Year in 2022, also the MIVA Coach of the Year. These are two of the finest head coaches in the entire country.
Yeah, I think Coach Cruz, since he's gotten on the Ball State's campus, has really revitalized what it means to be Ball State men's volleyball. And it's been so fun to watch his teams year in and year out since he's got here. He also has a very calm demeanor on the sideline. So it must be that Hawaii Island feel that you got going on, those good vibes. And he's just been so fun to watch his his teams develop, and he does a great job of managing all of his players as well too. So 2 great coaches, that makes for a great match, which is what we have here tonight.
And he's managed it well. First set, they were down 4-1 in the early going, and now straight out of the timeout, a service ace for the Rainbow Warriors. Amber, that's 4 aces today back there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, like I've said, very impressed with Hawaii's service game so far. 4 aces, low error, no errors, and they're really applying that pressure for Ball State. And when teams start getting in that rut of getting aced a couple of times, it makes other parts of their game break down too. So we got to watch the Ball State offense to see if they'll break with the service pressure.
There's a Navazucheva to make it a 1-point first set. You said low error, no error. Is that on a t-shirt somewhere? Because that's a great phrase.
All right, I am trademarking that. I like it. Low error, no error. That's a good phrase.
That's a great
Someone
phrase.
call me for the rights for that phrase.
Rosenthal sets it up for Todd on the outside and goes nowhere.
I like the risk here. I mean, Rosenthal was already almost standing on top of Hawkins, so to be able to push that ball back to Todd, I love the gutsy play there. I mean, Ball State was all over it, though.
Ball State has an opportunity for a lead, late set 1. Galloway gets up and finishes.
Such a sharp extreme angle from Galloway on that one. You can see he has a single block up. You can see Vanis Buckles tries to get there, but that corner to corner, that 4-4 is such a tough shot from Galloway.
Galloway's a veteran with Hawaii, but sometimes gets lost in the shuffle with all those outside hitter options that they have. Savitsky Lynn twirls one home.
He said, Galloway, if you can do it, I can do it too. Getting those 4-4 shots, I love it. And what's great about that is Savitsky Lind doesn't typically hit on the outside. He's that right side hitter, but in rotation 1, he has to take a swing on the outside. And he just said, hey, watch me, I can do it too.
How difficult is it to go from one end to the other like that?
It's a little bit different in terms of the trajectory of your approach. When you're right-handed on the right side, you can start a little bit wider, or sorry, not as wide, and on the outside you start wider. So it's just that difference in the angles can make it a little challenging.
Touch from Spiros Hawkins.
I like Hawkins for his play, but also his leadership out on that court. He does a great job of helping those younger players stay focused, stay locked in, and part of that is just his game experience. You can't train that game-like experience, and he's been doing a great job of bringing his experience to the younger players out on the court.
And Navazucheva. Hawkins with another one.
We have to give the play of the match to Thim on that one. You can see he's diving to go get that ball. Rosenthal jumps over him, and then Hawkins seals it with a tool off that block. Great heads-up play by Thim, coming in as that serving specialist to really spark this Hawaii team to a 2-point lead so far.
Yeah, Thim comes in, and the first thing he does is a massive swing point opportunity on the defensive end to keep it rolling.
I love it. That's what you need, and that's what Hawaii has. They have those players that just buy into doing everything they can, no matter how small, quote unquote, your role is, right? Just playing it to the best of your ability. He does a great job with his serves coming in and doing what needs to be done for this Hawaii team. And
he's helped Hawaii just stand in that top 4 in the AVCA poll. Ball State in the 15th spot. The Cardinals started this season 11th. They've dropped a couple of slots after a few tough losses. They've had a pretty tough schedule so far. 4 matches lost against top 15 opponents, but Hawaii has only dropped once to Loyola Chicago.
And it's tough at the beginning of the year because part of these rankings are also based on teams last year or players lost, and I think a lot of people think that the loss of Jakob Tele is going to be bigger than it actually might be for Hawaii. So I could see Hawaii easily moving up within that top 4 just with how they've been playing, and then also Ball State moving up as well too. You have to remember, Navazucheva hadn't played the first 9 matches, so he is such a big part of that Cardinals team. That might translate to their record currently, but I think by the end of the season, both of these teams will be within that top 15 or top 10 even.
Hawaii started the season ranked 3rd, which was their worst preseason ranking since 2019. That just tells you how good this team has been.
Right, exactly. I mean, you can't be too mad about that, but I know Hawaii fans are like, why are we not at the top? Which is okay because they have a very talented team.
There's another Rainbow Warriors point. The service game has been lights out today. 4 aces. They've also forced lots of pressure on Ball State. And whenever you put Thim on the service line, this is a player who has notched a serve 76 miles per hour. And it sneaks in. This guy's tough to stop.
He is, and he's changed up where he's starting on that service line, and I think that's made a huge difference for him. Starting out on its right side and kind of cutting that ball, that one-to-one zone, is making it a lot challenging for these Ball State players to adjust to.
You use the word challenge. Donan Cruz does exactly that on this serve.
I don't know, in real time I thought it was in, but that angle might have, I don't want to say anything.
Watch the corner.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's a good challenge from Coach Cruz.
Yeah.
Great look from our camera operators and replay crew.
Do we see space? Oh, that's tough.
I think that might be telling.
It might be. It's got to be enough to overturn it.
Can you put an index card in between?
That's what I'm wondering. I think you might be able to.
Yeah.
And that's just enough space.
I don't think that angle is going to be the determining factor.
That makes it worse, I think.
Yeah, I think the one that we have at the side view.
Yeah, I think that was a good one to see if there was that space in between that end line and the ball.
Regardless, 2 great challenges so far from Donan Cruz.
Yeah, I agree. The first one obviously went the Cardinals' way, and his team was so convinced of that. And I think, honestly, that was a good momentum shift early in the match for the Cardinals. And they're looking to need one now. Right now, Hawaii's in 20 points. They're 4 points away from securing a set 1 victory. The Cardinals could really use a point right now. Looks like we have a decision here. I'm anxious to see. Ooh. Yep.
Not enough to overturn.
Yeah.
That's one where if it's called one way, it might have stood.
Right. Yeah.
Either way.
I wouldn't have been surprised either way, whatever the decision was. Obviously, they have great angles that are able to tell more definitively.
So Thim back to the service line, where he's picked up 10 aces on the season, and he is going to grab another one.
Even with that net clip, he can still pull off an ace here.
And even after the challenge, which awarded Ball State a little bit of time to regroup, Donan Cruz burns that final timeout here at set 1.
Yeah, definitely need to reset if you're the Cardinals. Just need to take a breather and stop Thim. It's like icing the kicker in football. He's been on a service run. And so you just got to make sure he doesn't feel that momentum. And I think this is just a good time for the Cardinals to check in with their serve receive, say, hey, we got to communicate a little bit more, drop a great play for Machado to run the offense, and then just come up with a big kill. And then you're right back in it. You're only down 5. Hopefully then you would be down 4 at that point if you side out. And that's just a race to 25. And taking it that way is going to be, I think, a little bit more manageable for the Cardinals than thinking, hey, we have 5 million points to get back.
Amber, you had mentioned the efficiency from the service line earlier for Hawaii. 6 aces and 0 errors so far.
I mean, I can't stop talking about it. I think it's so great, especially coming in from Thursday. They had 22 service errors, very low error, no error, and 6 aces. They're really applying that heat to the Cardinals serve receive, and I'm interested to see how it'll hold up.
Yeah, this is a blistering stat, leading the country. You're close to tripling that in the first set from an aces per set standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Charlie Wade, this is all you could have asked for your team.
6 of the 22 points in set 1 from the service line. Machado for Buckles, and he sends it right at time.
And that's the firepower of Ball State's offense. When they can get a good pass, run the middles, run Buckles, and just he's wide open on that play. So that's what Ball State needs to do more often, but it's tough when you have Hawaii serves coming at you like that.
Yeah, Thim was there. Couldn't stop it, though. Hawkes off Buckles.
What I love about this play is that Rosenthal has run Voss in the middle so much that Ball State's blockers are now thinking about how fast Voss is going to take a swing. That left Hawkes one-on-one. And unfortunately, Buckles is back there playing defense, which he doesn't normally do.
Right.
And so that's a tough position to try to make a dig on.
Took some time, but there's the first error. This one comes from Rosenthal, the freshman, his 16th of the season.
Just had a little bit of mistiming on that toss. I think if he would have had a little higher for him, I don't think he would have made an error on that one. But it gives the Cardinals just a nice time to relax, take a deep breath, try to come up with some aces of their own.
Choi, another dig.
Great heads-up play there. So as a back row setter, Rosenthal can't make a move to try to make a play on that ball. So he jumped up and Davizicheva hit that ball. So that is considered a back row attack or an illegal play on Rosenthal trying to go up and make a play on that ball as a back row setter.
You could tell he almost tried to get out of the way at the last minute, thought, oh, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, because you always, if the ball's still on your side as a setter, you have the right to make a play on that ball first. So you always got to try to go up for it, but then when you realize it's on the other side, you try to pull your hands back as fast as possible.
Miss hit from Savitsky Lind, which could be a big one. Set point for the Rainbow Warriors.
You got Hawkes back to serve, who already has 2 aces, so let's see if he can get another one here.
He had 4 on the season entering tonight, 2 in the first set. Savitsky Lind saves the set for now.
What I like about that play is that Machado went right back to Savitsky Lind. So Savitsky Lind just made a service error. Machado said, hey, I got you. You come up with a big point in a big moment. Great back row play from Savitsky Lind.
That's how you build chemistry with a couple of freshmen. And Davizicheva. Todd the poke. Machado back for Savitsky. Lind and twirls one home. All right, can Ball State make a push? Stop from Galloway. Hawkes rejected up front.
Worthen just exploded with that play. It started off with a great serve from Davizicheva. Galloway made a great pass on it, but then an even bigger block on Hawkes. I mean, Worthen is just exploding right now.
This place is electric tonight on a Sunday evening. Get to see the front line for Ball State putting up a massive block.
You gotta love it, right? Those are, when you get a big block in a moment like this, when that score is now 23-24, those are the moments you live for. Just being able to celebrate with your team, come in clutch, great block by the Cardinals.
These numbers are silly, Amber.
I mean, I can't believe that Hawaiii is hitting 348, and that is technically bad for them in this first set. Like, they were hitting over 400 at one point.
Oh, that's below their season average, too.
Right,
348.
exactly. Just a shabby 348 over here.
Unreal. It's been neutralized with Ball State's high hit percentage because of the Hawaiii aces.
Right,
That's been the difference.
Exactly, yeah. So Ball State hasn't had as many opportunities to take those swings in terms of having those opportunities to make those errors because they've been aced six times. But I think it's just been so fun to watch. This is exactly what I expected from this match. High flying game, high hitting percentages. I mean, offensive firepower on both sides.
Can Ball State tie this and send us to extras in the first? The answer is no. Hawaiii is able to hold on. Ball State made a furious comeback. And the Rainbow Warriors victorious in set one. Hawaii's won 14. Last time these two teams met up inside Worthen Arena, Ball State was able to take 2 wins against number 1 Hawaiii. That was a massive tone setter for the season.
That was just an incredible match to be at and to call. I mean, the energy was high on both sides. And in that third set, when Ball State was smelling that victory, you could feel the energy in Worthen get bigger and bigger and bigger. It was so fun to watch. And again, obviously with Hawaii being on the mainland for these games, it's a little bit of an adjustment. And to be away from your own bed, your schoolwork, and all that for so long, I think the Cardinals really took full advantage of that. But it was such a fun game to be at because of how high energy Worthen Arena was. I can't say it enough. There's no place like Worthen. They really show out for these volleyball matches.
Sam, this all-time series has started to become a little bit more intense the last couple of years. Well, Sam, yeah, you mentioned it. This is just a high-octane matchup between these two programs. But 15-5 for Hawaii. Ball State is climbing back into that a little bit the last couple of years.
Just trying to chip away piece by piece
Piece by piece.
Big lead that Hawaii has on them.
First swing of set 2 is Savitsky Lind for Ball State. Ball State has backs up against the wall here, Amber.
Oh, they do.
After a first set win since 2020, Hawaii is 81-4.
That's incredible. And that gives you a lot of confidence if you're Hawaii going into this side switch, going into the second set. But if you're Ball State, you got to keep continuing to do it with what works. And right now, that's Savitsky Lind on offense. He's doing a great job. He's gotten 3 of the last kills for the Cardinals. So I expect Ball State to keep feeding him.
And he's up to 6 tonight, and a couple of save chances to no avail. And Savitsky Lind has evened his career high of 6 kills against Tusculum earlier this season. Already with 6 after 1 set.
Yeah, there's a lot of volleyball left tonight, so he's definitely going to blow that career high out of the water.
The night is young. Hakas to the service line. This one's far. Just the second error for Hawaii today on the line.
Again, it's early in the second set, so you're okay with those missed serves at this time. Again, we saw what happens to Ball State's offense when their serve receive breaks down. So I completely get Hawaii trying to go for these tough serves, throw Ball State out of system.
Rosenthal to the outside for Todd. He is swatted.
And Todd's had a last great couple of matches here. So Ball State obviously has scouted those games against Purdue Fort Wayne, and they were all over that 9-ball for Todd.
Rosenthal pops it. Galloway taps. Ball State can be dangerous here to the middle with Patterson. And it's a Hawaii point.
That's a tough one. Trying to block yourself or cover yourself after you got blocked. Sometimes you can just get into that tricky situation. They called it a lift, but I think if you're Ball State, you really got to get those points, score those points when Hawaii sends a free ball like that over.
Crucial.
Yeah, automatic, you have to get a kill on that ball.
Machado for Rogers. Tool to block successfully. Really the first time we've called Rogers' name. His second kill, but only 3 swings for him so far because of the way that Savitsky Lind is playing.
Yeah, and that's kind of unusual for Ball State's offense up to this point. They're pretty outside heavy typically, but when Savitsky Lind is playing how he's playing, I mean, you might as well feed him. When the middles are playing how they're playing, you might as well feed them too. So for Rogers, I mean, he's still one of those people to keep an eye out for, but Ball State has a lot of offensive options.
And those options shut down on this one by Kurt Neuster.
He read this perfectly. As you can see, he made a great move here and just finished it in, and Galloway dove in on that ball too. So
it's like Galloway was there.
I was going to say, even though Neuster will get an assist on that point for just being up in the air, I think that one was all Galloway.
Back to Rogers, another tool to block. Sometimes it doesn't have to be send one straight to the floor to have the offense start to flow a little bit. If you tool the block, you start to separate those defenders.
Exactly, and right, even though they're not as fun, right, that's a great heads-up play, especially going off of freshman Rosenthal. He didn't have his hands pressed over that net. Rogers has that game experience, knows exactly when to tool that block, and again, it doesn't have to be hard. You still get 1 point either way, whether it's hit hard or whether it's hit softer.
That one's hit hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Machado didn't even have time to make a play on that ball, but Again, it's all about how can you play that cat and mouse game with those defenders, whether that's the blockers or the back row players. Not everything has to be full speed all the time.
Galloway, an AVCA All-American honorable mention last year, Big West first-team member. And a staple on this Hawaii team for several seasons. Todd flicks around, and there's no stopping this one.
I definitely thought he was going to be able to get that one back over from the ground. Great heads-up play by Todd. Great follow-through on that ball by Rosenthal. It's amazing that either of these two got a touch on it, and then Todd just tried to schwack it over. Unfortunately, it hit the ref stand, but great hustle play by Hawaii.
Well, Rosenthal just did a complete 360 almost on his back.
Yeah.
4 aces, 5 errors on the line this year for Nooster. All Big West freshman team a season ago. Machado hits it for Buckles, and Bucky converts.
Bucky's been so fun to watch these last 3 years. I mean, he's just really grown and matured as a player, and he demands that respect from his opponents now with how he's able to manipulate that court. That's a great swing by Buckles.
When you say manipulate the court, how does he do it specifically?
He plays those games where he can hit those sharp angles or he can hit straight on, and it forces the blockers to try to pick a side on him. And once he sees you pick one side, he hits the other one. So he's one of those players that can see the block really well and then just hit around it.
Well, he's helping Ball State now string a couple together on the service line. 2 aces on the season. Rosenthal. Mr. T the set. Now they give it to him on the offensive end. Buckles unable to stop it.
Great defensive play on both sides. Both teams are hitting shots that kind of make you think, how did that other team get it up? Like, Mr. T had a great cut shot, and somehow, I think it was Hawkes dug that ball up perfectly, and they were able to convert to score.
There's Machado back for Ndavizusheva, and it's rejected. Todd with another one. Todd with 10 blocks of the season. He has really burst onto the scene this year.
He's one of those players that just calmly, steadily makes his way into the match. I mean, he's not one of those players that can hit it straight down, but he does his job and he does it well. And like you said, getting those blocks when he's needed. I mean, he's come up really big for Hawaii the last 3 matches.
Savitsky Lin successfully tools the block, and now he has a career best 7 kills. Critical for Ball State to answer those Hawaii points.
Yeah, and I think it's huge for Ball State to continue to utilize Savitsky Land on that right side because of how big the blockers are for for Hawaii that's blocking Ball State's outside. So Tread Rosenthal's 6'9", Alakai Todd is also really tall up there too. So getting it to the shorter blockers of those outsides for Hawaii is going to be huge for Ball State.
Mr. T rises and connects.
The legendary Steve Shondell calls that corner the coffin corner because there's no one to defend. That's where the volleyballs go to die. Mr. T executes perfectly with that coffin corner shot.
Now he has been on a tear today, hitting almost 500. Galloway has to recontrol. Machado finds Savitsky Lin, tapped around and out in favor of Hawaii.
I like the play. I like running Savitsky Lin on that D ball. However, the execution was just not there. It was a little too close to that 10-foot line. As a back row attacker, your foot cannot cross the 10-foot line or the 3-meter line, and you jump in swing, so you have to stay grounded. I think he just wanted that ball a little bit further off that 10-foot line so he could take his full approach, get a full swing.
Just the 3rd error for Hawaii. on the service line.
And that's a tough position to be in, right? You sit the first set, and you have to come in and serve in the second set at a critical time. Because right now, Cardinals are up 2, and so it doesn't feel like it. But they have the lead in the second set here. If you're Hawaii, you want to make sure you can get that second set victory.
Well, Nistor's doing everything he can to make sure that that becomes the case.
Start off with a beautiful pass. Rosenthal feeds it to Nurser perfectly here. I mean, that was just, you can't really dig that with how fast that ball's coming over.
One-on-one, a little tough against that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Todd back to serve. Rogers, stopped by Hakas. Galloway a crack. Savitsky Lynn the pop, and Rosenthal the free open shot. Rosenthal, 15 kills in the season. Not afraid to move to the outside if he has to.
No, he said, I'm going to take this one for myself. I'm tired of dishing out all the assists. I want to get a kill.
From Manhattan Beach, California, Rosenthal, freshman setter. Both teams employing freshman setters tonight. And it's worked for both sides as Rogers sends one down.
We all know I love setters. I was a setter, so I love watching these freshman setters go to work. I think it's just been really fun to watch how they've developed. Even in the course of this match, they're starting to take a lot more risks, and they're kind of playing that game with each other, like who's going to put their hitters in better positions.
Hawaii can't do that this point, and Ball State inching out to a 2-point second set lead.
And this is one of my, if you've listened to any Ball State volleyball broadcast, both men or women's, this is, one of my pet peeves is when people try to hit the overpasses because of things like that.
Amber's on her soapbox.
I am. So just finish the point, secure it by throwing it down so you know it stays in the court.
Kind of like that.
Yes. That one is a tough one too, on those digs that are going out of bounds. But when Hawaii's hitting as hard and fast as they are, I mean, you kind of just got to get your body in the way and hope that it stays in the court.
I was waiting to hear if we would go to the soapbox department today.
Oh, I mean, we're always waiting. We're always anticipating for the soapbox. It's just a matter of when.
Machado out for Rogers. He has been sneaky today.
And what I love about Rogers is that he's just putting his shot selection on display. He's had a couple of tools here. He has the off-speed bent arm tip. So typically when you think of tips in volleyball, that elbow's fully extended. They don't have enough energy or pop behind that ball, but he kept his elbow bent, was able to fool the blockers for Hawaii and come up with a big kill at a much-needed time for Ball State.
Hakas the kill. It's about where we were in set 1. Neck and neck in the race to 15. Here's Thim back on the service line. Their third year with Hawaii. Buckles plants it.
I mean, that was great volleyball all around. Great serve by Thim, great pass for Ball State, and then obviously Buckles for the kill. Can't complain about that if you're a Cardinals fan.
Cardinals up 2 at set 2. Lost the first set in a close one. Set 2, a rebound, and Buckles gives the Cardinals a lead. Last October, the late, great Chris Bierman was inducted into the Ball State Athletics Hall of Fame. He finished his career with almost 1,800 kills, which was a program record and a then NCAA record, 1,047 digs. The ceremony was a couple of weeks ago. Chris Bierman's family was able to attend, former teammates able to attend. Just a special way to honor the late, great Chris Bierman, who is one of the best that the game has ever seen.
And not just on the men's side, too. He impacted a lot of players on the women's side, too. He was a great coach down in Lexington, and his daughter, Kendall, played at IU. I mean, he just did so much for the game of volleyball, and it's so great that he was being able to be honored in the Ball State Hall of Fame because he really did a lot for not just volleyball, but Ball State in general.
Yeah, Bierman passed away in 2021, and that caught the nation's attention, and We still continue to send our best to the Bierman family. It was an emotional night during the ceremony a couple weeks ago in the induction for Chris Bierman, but that was just a welcome to the Hall of Fame from really everybody across the country in the game of volleyball.
Yeah, a nationwide celebration for someone that did so much for the sport and helped propel it to those national stages to what we're seeing now. And so it's great that he was able to be recognized.
That's the late, great Chris Bierman, honored into the Ball State Athletics Hall of Fame. His Cardinals off to a 2-point lead here in set 2. Rogers, the long toss. Rosenthal, the dump. Machado's ready for it. Savitsky Lind having a career night this time. It is sent backwards. No, wait. They change it. The near judge said Hawaii point, looked at the other judge, changed it.
Yeah, I think that ball just barely missed the court, but you could see on that play a lot of people that were not setters were setting that ball.
Yes.
So Ball State was out of system, but able to capitalize for a point.
Rogers sets for Ndavazucheva to no avail.
That's a tough ball for Ndavazucheva to hit. It was super tight. He tried to go full force power through that block instead of tooling it. You had Tread Rosenthal up there. That would have been a good time to tool the freshman setter. Now you got him back on the service line, so he's back row. You can't utilize that tooling shot as much.
Savitsky Lind. Choi for Todd. Machado. And Machado can't stop the swing from Huckus.
MVP of that point goes to Choi for his great defensive up. I also love that run down by Galloway to send it to Huckus all the way. That's such a tough ball to hit, but Huckus has that experience to tool that ball down the line, keep that ball on Lucas Machado, the setter, who has to then play that first ball.
Machado gave it an effort. Tell you what, when these Hawaii servers let one loose,
oh my goodness,
the wrists have to hurt on the opposite side after the match, right?
Yeah,
There's
you have
bruises,
to ice
it's a little
those forearms,
sore.
yeah.
Now Rosenthal trying to give Hawaii a second set lead. Rogers gives Ndavazucheva a chance in front of Galloway.
Yeah, Rogers laid a dime in there for Lucas Machado. Machado had all of his options. Who else but Mr. T for a big point when you need one?
He's up to a match best 11 kills on 18 swings. Rosenthal, the quick set for Voss, trickles down. We saw a lot of Voss early in set 1, not so much since the midway point of the set, but he's back.
I think Hawaii's passing this set is not as great as it was in the first set. They were passing lights out. Tread Rosenthal was running those middles from essentially the setter's pocket. That one, he was on that 10-foot line, forcing it to Voss, so Hawaii's passing isn't what it was first set.
There's Patterson, lays one home.
But Ball State's passing has been pretty locked up on this one. You can see Machado is running Patterson in that middle here. Little tight for that back row, but he's able to make it work.
Rejected.
I love that set choice by Rosenthal. He really chucked that ball back there. Rogers was all over it. Patterson, again, it's one of those situations. Yeah. Patterson will get the assist, but that one was all Rogers. Look at how far over he reached with those long arms.
Bending the other way.
Yeah, like contorting his body to come up with a big block.
Rainbow Warriors looking for an answer, and Galloway provides it. Can't lose sight of Galloway.
Yeah, he's one of those players, again, we don't call his name all the time in those big play moments, but he's one of those players that is just steady. He is always there, coming up with a big point when you need it. But what I liked about that was Huckus became second setter in that situation, delivered a beautiful out-of-system ball.
Too far.
This puts Ball State in a favorable position because they only have 5 points to secure the win in set 2. And if you're Hawaii, you're looking to capitalize side out early so you can keep that lead down to 1.
Patterson, 2 aces in his freshman season. Hawaii plays it. Ball State out to Rogers. 2 on the block from Galloway.
And it's so funny that just a point ago, we were like, okay, Galloway isn't one of those players whose names we call out. Now he garners a triple block up on him. So obviously he has that respect of the Ball State defense and is still able to come up with a huge point for Hawaii.
Galloway swinging at 444 tonight. 4 kills on 9 swings. And now there's an easy shove toward the floor from Nooster.
Okay, I think Nooster heard my pet peeve soapbox here because he did exactly what I want him to do. Great finish on that overpass. And instead of hitting the ball out of bounds, he got a quick point for Hawaii, and now we're all tied up.
Could be the swing.
Could be.
Machado for Rogers, and it trickles home. The resiliency from Ball State haven't been rattled all night long.
No, and I think a lot of that comes with the confidence and composure that Rogers has been playing with in these last couple of points here. He just knows anytime he gets set, he's finding a way to score creatively, and that keeps Hawaii's defense on its toes.
Galloway and Davizu Cheva. Back to Galloway, and it rolls out.
We might see a challenge here. We might see, not sure, Charlie Wade is having a discussion with that down ref. There was a couple of times the Hawaii players were asking for either a lift call or for a Ball State player to be in the net, so we'll see what the result of this challenge is here.
That's going on to look at from the double block against Galloway.
They might say that Ball State blockers were in the net on this point, or they might say that earlier. Oh, not a touch, but I think Vannis Buckles might have caught the net with his arm, unfortunately, for Ball State. Fortunately, if you're Hawaii, because right now Cardinals are up 22-20, so this is a huge point at this time in the second set to determine who could potentially win this set.
So Hawaii's first challenge, Ball State's 1-1 on challenges tonight.
It's interesting because I feel like the Hawaii players play so calm and composed most of the time, so when they get really animated about something, I think they feel really confident that something should have been called in their favor. So we'll see what the outcome of this challenge is, but usually they're pretty composed. That might be something that they tried to call as like either a double contact or a lift.
Right. Because if it's a double contact, then that ball should never go back over.
Right, exactly. This will give us a see if that net clip here. So it looks like ball clipped the net on that one. Let's see if on this one, Vannis Buckles is in the net. I think that might have just been shaking from the ball hitting that first time that I believe it was Galloway took a swing, maybe Hawkes.
So that first portion might be what they were looking at.
Yeah.
And they do change it.
All right, so now we're all tied up in second set, and this could be an interesting next couple of points here.
And it's Galloway. Machado to the outside. It's Rogers.
With the way that Pitlack and Rogers have been passing right now, it allows Ball State to really have all of their options. And then as of right now, Rogers is getting a kill almost every time he's taking a swing. So I expect Ball State to continue to find him, even if he's in the back row.
Rosenthal to Galloway for an answer. Machado's there. Here goes Ndabazucheva. Plants it home.
That's a great tool by Ndabazucheva there to come up with a quick point. He had a huge block up in front of his face. You got Rosenthal, Neuster, and Hawkes, but Hawkes just didn't press that left hand over. It left him vulnerable on that block. Ball State's now up 2, and they only have 2 to secure a set 2 victory here.
Offense has not been the problem tonight for Ball State, and Ndabazucheva has consistently faced 3 blockers at the net. He has 12 kills.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really, really impressed with the offense on both sides, but especially Ball State's outsides, because, like you said, they have a triple block almost every single time, and they're still finding ways to get kills. That just speaks to how well they've been coached in terms of how they're able to manipulate their shot selection, as well as find ways to score. And right now, I mean, Ball State's hitting 446, which you look at and you're like, oh, that's not bad. But they were hitting over 500 in set 1, so definitely come back down to earth a little bit, you could say.
Well, Mr. T has been the leader of the squad offensively today with those 12 kills and 450 hit percentage. Last season, an All-MIFA member, AVCA, Honorable Mention All-America, and it was his first season bursting onto the scene at Ball State because he was a transfer from Weber International, put up almost 200 kills there, sat the next season, and last year just took the nation by storm, and this year only his 3rd match back, but things are starting to drop where they should.
Exactly. I mean, I think you put it perfectly. He took the nation by storm. Like, people who don't even follow men's volleyball knew who he was just because of how fun he is to watch and play. And he is definitely a walking highlight reel, that's for sure.
1 point away from evening this thing up in Muncie.
So this goes back to my soapbox. They try to hit the overpass, comes up with a big block by Savitsky-Lin. So that's a well-timed block by that freshman in order to get the Cardinals to set point here in set number 2.
Well, Coach Wade burns the final timeout. You mentioned some of the numbers. Hawaii's 6 aces in the first set, paced them only 1 in the second. The big note for Ball State, they haven't had a massive amount of errors in comparison to Hawaii in this set.
Yeah, I would say that Ball State's pretty low error in terms of the offense, and a lot of that is from those experienced players like Ndabazucheva and Rogers really just keeping that ball in play, not taking those swings where you just put everything into it and miss out long, wide, or in the net. And I think right now Ball State's doing a nice job, like I said, of keeping that ball in play. Hawaii is trying to do everything with each swing and hitting a little too hard or hitting wide. And right now Ball State is just that lower air team.
Historically, when Hawaii wins the first set, they dominate the rest of a match. Since the 2020 season, 81-4 when winning that first set. Cardinals down a set, but have a chance to even it here in Worthen. Crowd on its feet. Rosenthal, Hawkes. Rogers pops one high for Ndabazucheva. He hits Choi. Hawkes puts one in. What a defensive effort.
I had to pause in the middle of that rally to clap for Choi because that was such a great dig. I've loved how he's come out to play and fill that libero position that Hawaii lost to a transfer. So he's been doing great, stepping in, making huge defensive plays when Hawaii needs it.
This place is rocking. Machado to Bucky, stopped. Rosenthal back to Hawkes, and there's no room left for Rogers. No timeouts for either team here in set 2. Well, Ball State actually had one to use, so Coach Cruz does use it.
I mean, you might as well, right? You can't take it with you, and this is a key point here. Ice that server back there. Make them think about it. If they miss this serve, it's set for Ball State. So I like the coaching strategy there from Coach Cruz.
Don't be a hero, kid. Don't be a hero.
14 straight wins on the road for Hawaii. Last time it was against Long Beach State that they dropped. And so far 2-0 this season. Ball State 7-0 at home this year. And one of those two will change by the end of tonight.
And it really could go either way. I mean, it's incredible that Hawaii has been so lethal on the road, but Ball State is also so lethal in Worthen Arena. And so it's the battle of these two streaks going on right now. I'm excited to see which one will be broken.
Calm, cool, collected. Head coach Charlie Wade, 15 years. Sends out the trusted Kurt Neuster. Place feels like an NCAA tournament match. Neuster. Out to Adamazu-Cheva.
It is so loud in here, Mick. This place went wild. Obviously, when Mr. T takes a big swing, you know it's going to hit the floor. And I think well-timed, well-placed shot right to Neuster. Now we're tied at 1-1. This is a match. I'm excited.
Can you tell how much this thing means to both of these squads? An electric atmosphere, and Adamazu-Cheva puts a bow on set two, and we've got a good one brewing in Muncie. What a performance on the court from Hawaii and Ball State, but also musical chairs. This one did not disappoint. You're mixing volleyball, football, rugby. They want that chair.
Yeah, everyone's going all out, whether it's musical chairs, whether it's volleyball. This is such a fun night to be at. I'm really excited that we have all this entertainment going on.
Amber Seaman, Mick Tidrow here from Worthen. Is that how you play musical chairs?
I mean, yes, I'm one of the most competitive people I know. I'm always trying to win at whatever cost.
No doubt. Amber, Ball State and Hawaii went back and forth both sets. 25-23 win for Hawaii, and then Ball State did that in the second set. How have you seen the Cardinals adjust to what Hawaii's doing?
I think right now the Cardinals are just playing lower air than Hawaii is. I mean, Hawaii had a statistically almost perfect match to start with set one, and now Ball State's kind of taking the reins here a little bit. Hawaii was a little bit more heavy air on those service errors as well as their attacking percentage. So Ball State's just playing a little bit more calm, cool, and collected in that second set.
And the stats point to exactly that. Ball State was able to just completely dominate from a hit percentage standpoint. Teams do not hit 433 against Hawaii.
No, and it's crazy too because teams also don't hit 317 against Ball State. So both of these teams hitting at very high percentages, and I think right now Ball State is using this home court advantage well to their advantage.
A lot of blocking too going on. At least 6.5 for both teams. Before set three starts, let's send it over to Sam.
Thanks, Mick. Well, Ball State, we've talked about Tanashi Adamazu-Cheva all night long, and although he missed the first 9 matches of the season, that didn't really help with his homesickness. He hasn't been back to Zimbabwe in over 2 years, but a group of students at Ball State orchestrated a cooking show to celebrate the cuisine of some international athletes here at Ball State. Mr. T was the first guest on that show, and he cooked sadza. That's the national dish of Zimbabwe. He hasn't had it in over 2 years. He almost teared up talking about his mom's sadza. It's safe to say that he plays with a lot of pride out there on the court, both personal and national.
Sam, that's such an excellent story, and you also just made me really hungry.
I know, right? It's after 8 on a Sunday. I am pretty hungry, but it's so cool that people are able to welcome in our international players with open arms and allow them to feel that little piece of home at their home away from home. And I think that just really adds to the student-athlete experience as well, too.
And for somebody who's given so much to Ball State, for Ball State to give so much to him has to feel very gratifying. Set 3 underway from Muncie. It's deadlocked at 1, and Voss goes back to work just like he did to start the match.
Yes, I think we didn't see Voss as much in that second set, and I'm not going to say that that was the difference maker, but I think he did have a huge part in that set 1 victory because he was able to be so active. So I'm looking for Rosenthal to try to find him a little bit more this set.
They put Rosenthal on the service line. 6'9" setter from Manhattan Beach, California. Machado pops one up. There's Savitsky Lind. Choi lifts it for Todd, who goes toward the corner, and Rogers unable to stop. Todd and Voss very active in set 1. And now bringing that back for set 3.
Yeah, I think getting those two going early is going to be the key for Hawaii in this third set.
Pitlack finds Adavazucheva. What a save from Choi. Hawaii wasn't happy that point was called quickly.
Well, it was a great up by Choi. So
Right.
I think they thought that they were not calling that up on a pancake. He definitely got underneath it, kept
Right.
the play going. However, huge center line violation by Choi. He got in the way of those Ball State blockers. So it wasn't a question of whether or not that ball was up. It was whether or not he crossed that center line violation, which he did. He's
Good
almost
catch.
like halfway over. I mean, honestly, great up. Beautiful pancake.
Oh, yeah.
Lays out for this ball. Under it. But you could see that Savitsky Lind had to adjust his feet to move to this ball because of how far over Choi was. Yeah, great up. No doubt about that. But he's completely under the net. His top half is, so.
It's a great catch.
I've watched a lot of volleyball in my day. Again, we're all about the safety of our players. Both sides have been impacted by injury, so we just want to make sure that it's a safe game for everyone involved. And I do not fault Choi at all for trying to go for that ball. I love his defensive effort. Sometimes you just got to know where your boundaries are.
Favors Ball State, and here goes Savitsky Lind. Rosenthal, long run to set up Todd. Machado for Patterson. Patterson ties his career best of 4 kills in his true freshman season. Loveland, Ohio has produced a lot of good talent here at Ball State.
Oh, yeah.
Your teammate, Marie Plitt.
Yes. When I was researching for this match and saw that Patterson was also from Loveland, I was trying to figure out a way to bring that up because of how well the middles from Loveland, Ohio play for Ball State.
Savitsky Lind with an ace. Drew Plitt, Marie's brother on the football team, played the NFL a little bit with the Bengals. Savitsky Lind pokes this one in. Ball State's kind of been coined the volleyball capital of the world, but I think Loveland, Ohio is becoming like the volleyball hub of high school sports.
I would agree. There's a lot of players from that greater Cincinnati area. Maggie Huber's also technically from Loveland, even though she didn't go to the same school as Marie Plitt. So, you know, just a lot of great volleyball in that little pocket of Ohio.
Hawkes. Rogers just got a hand on it. Todd right over the defense.
You could hear that serve echo off of Hawkes' hand. I mean, that was such a crazy serve. And then Rogers just got under it. Galloway played it up. Rosenthal had options. He had everyone he could have set, and he chose Todd and came up with a big kill at a good time for the Hawaii Warriors.
Back to Ndavazucheva. And Ndavazucheva can't save it from Todd.
He was in the right spot. I mean, he just wasn't underneath the ball, and he wishes he had that one back. He smacked the floor pretty hard.
It's tough to go from server to defender when the ball's hit that fast.
Right. I mean, it doesn't give you enough time to transition from your task 1 to task 2.
Rogers unable to bring home a point.
Looked like he was looking for those high hands, just missed them.
Guilherme Voss on the service line. 4 aces, 6 errors this year. Machado back for Savitsky Lind. Quick tap. And a smackdown from Nooster.
I like that on that rally, Rosenthal is trying to go to all of his different hitters. So he's utilizing Todd on the right side. He's utilizing Galloway on the outside. Finds Nooster for a point in the middle.
Machado for Savitsky Lind. He attacks the outside. He's bursting onto the scene tonight.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching how he plays. He just goes up and swings fearless, and I like that he's trying to target that middle that's playing back row back there with Voss coming in to serve. Found a great target, came up with a big kill.
Savitsky Lind with a new career best 8 kills on 15 swings, hitting 400.
And counting.
And
There's
counting.
no way that's his last set of the night.
No. Especially the way that he's been playing against the number 4 team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for in your freshman right side, right? You don't want him to play much better than what he's doing right now. He's doing everything you could ask for as a coach.
It's also just showing the depth of Ball State. He hadn't really played a whole lot entering tonight. You had the Aaron Hernandezes of the world that saw more time. Ryan Bartz, and then Savitsky Lind comes in and gets the number 4 team.
Yeah, I mean, what a great honor to be playing like how he's played right now.
There he is.
Obviously, he shows up day in, day out at practice, shows the coaching staff what he can do, and he's putting that on display for all of us as well, too.
Just his
threaded
5th
that
career
line.
match.
I mean, he is just racking up these career highs now. Each time he gets a kill, he's like, give me another one. Give me another one.
And Galloway says the same thing.
I think what's the most impressive thing about Galloway right now is that he has yet to make a hitting error. And now that I say that, he probably will, just that announcer's jinx going on. But he's 6 for 13 and hitting 462. And like I said, he's one of those players that just does his job when you need him to do it. Unfortunately, a little bit of a service error there. So we'll see how he can respond. Hopefully lay in a dime pass to Rosenthal, who can run front row, back row, anything off this pass.
Almost 600 kills in his Hawaii career. Now he digs one out for Rosenthal. And back to the steady hand of Hawkes. Tonight, Hawkes now has 10 kills. 91 on the season. He's 10th best in the country with 4 kills per set.
And he's someone that's been a steady presence for Hawaii his entire time that he's been here. So I'm really glad to see that he's coming out, showing his veteran presence here, helping his team kind of stay ahead 3 points in this 3rd set.
Machado. Pitlack saves it. Galloway. Mr. T, a little off balance, and that is a tough out-of-system swing.
Definitely a tough ball to try to get a swing on. You could see Rogers and Machado were both trying to dig that ball on that that back row attack from Galloway. Got Machado a little bit out of system, out of whack. Wasn't able to get a great set out to Mr. T.
Machado for Davazucheva, shut down. Rosenthal. The Ball State turn defense to offense. Stop from Todd. Savitsky Lind. Finally drops. First double-digit kill of this young man's career.
First of many, I predict. just with how he's been playing so far. Doing a great job making do with what he's been given, especially that crazy out-of-system rally, that last point.
Stopping Voss up front, and now stopping Hawkes on the outside. Machado, the touch. And now Zucheva. Machado back to Mr. T. Hawkes. Rogers. Machado for Savitsky Lind, and there is the authority from Hawkes.
A lot of great positive block touches on both sides. I mean, the blockers are doing a nice job reading where these setters are going after getting comfortable those first 2 sets, understanding those setters' tendencies, but great block by Hawkes to end that long rally.
4-point advantage for Hawaii. They're in set 3 with an even 1-1 score for Muncie. Hawaii's up 4. They're in set 3. Send it over to Sam for some more pre-match festivities for Hawaii today.
That's right, Mick. Well, for anybody wondering if these Hawaii players are still taking care of their bodies on this long trip, still eating right, have no fear. I ran into the team earlier today at Chipotle here in Muncie a few hours before first serve, so they are definitely eating right. Only problem is they were eating about 6 hours before first serve. I don't know about you guys, but I can't exercise for like 12 hours after Chipotle. Do you guys have a go-to order at Chipotle?
Ooh, Amber, I'll let you go first.
Oh, yes. We'll start with the burrito. We'll do our classic white rice, black beans, barbacoa if I'm feeling crazy, with some queso.
All right.
Lettuce and a side of sour cream.
That's a good spread.
It is.
It's a good
it
spread.
Fills me up every time.
Gotta go with the bowl, chicken, rice, lettuce, shredded cheese. Throw some sour cream in there.
Oh, yeah, you have to have the sour cream,
absolutely.
of course.
Sour cream just makes it go. What did you get, Sam? That's the bigger question.
Mick, I was really hoping you would ask me this. I have waited so long to say this on the air. The only correct way to get Chipotle, you get a steak burrito, white rice, black beans, little hot salsa, some cheese, some lettuce, side of chips, nothing to dip them in though. Let those chips speak for themselves, and then you get a lemonade to go with it. It's the perfect combination.
I love it. And I heard recently that you're supposed to flip as Savitsky Lind rudely interrupting our Chipotle story.
Yeah, exactly. How dare he?
With an awesome kill. I heard recently that you're supposed to flip when you get a bowl upside down so you eat it from the tin.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Rookie.
This is new? Okay.
Rookie mistake.
Bad mistakes. Savitsky Lind now back on the service line. Voss with space and destroys.
Another player on Hawaii who has no errors. Voss has been swinging great. I've really enjoyed watching him and Rosenthal develop that connection. I think that's something that Hawaii fans across the nation were looking to solidify, because Tele last year and Voss were like the duo to watch.
Whoa. But it's out.
He wanted that one just a little too much, kind of caught the net on the way down. I love how he's trying to take a big swing at this moment. Just got your hand in the net. It looks like he might have ripped the net, honestly, a little bit. I think there's some fraying strings in the net.
No, you're absolutely right. There is a frayed net. String in the net.
The power of Mr. T. He swings that hard.
They go right back to him. And Todd stopped at the net. You can see the net in location to where Mr. T's been swinging it. Wonder if the
some wear and tear with how hard he's been hitting.
It's we talk about basketball players losing the soles of their shoes because they run so hard and turn fast, but this is just like
a whole new level for that volleyball game.
Yeah, wow. Not a good day to be a net.
No, definitely not.
Wow. It's like when you tear the cover off a baseball, hit it so hard. Point to the Cardinals.
So right now, Machado's a back row setter. He has to have the ability to make a play on the ball when it's on his side of the net. Nurser saw that ball. He was about to be an overpass. He just got a little too hungry, tried to make a play. but you got to let the back row setter make a play first when it's on their side.
Rosenthal out for Todd, and just a casual swing home.
That was probably the slowest swing that we've seen all day. Not a tip, but the slowest swing, but obviously it worked for Todd here. You can see he just pulls a little off of it, sees he has Rogers with a single arm up, just decided, hey, I just got to put this one away.
He now has 26 kills over his last 2 matches, does Todd. There's an error on the Rainbow Warriors.
Right now, if you're Ball State, you got to take this to your advantage. You got to let your team just kind of settle in right now. You're only down 4, and you're still at a point where you can make a comeback and still win this set. Right now, they're playing a little frantic, a little higher error than they did last set.
Long run from Machado. Lots of traffic.
It's those kinds of scramble plays that if you're Ball State, you want to get back, right? You just had Hawkes setting the ball over with his 2 hands, right? He didn't even jump and swing. You got to put those away. That's an easy free ball. That should have been a kill for Ball State.
And Machado flexing out his left leg after that tough tumble. Something to monitor. Machado gives Mr. T a swing. And it's a Ball State point. Mr. T up to 15 kills.
Leading both sides of the net. I think they're happy he's back, right? I mean, you look at the Cardinals' record, the first 9 matches that he wasn't a part of, and you're like, something was just missing, and it's just that energy that he brings to the court.
Hawkes. Gray lifts one up, long run, someone able to get there, that's Rogers. Can Ball State get back on defense? They don't need to because Todd hits it too far out. What a stop from Gray.
Yeah, that was a great touch on that ball by Gray. And you can see Hawaiii is looking to challenge something. I'm not sure if they're trying to challenge Ball State in the net maybe, or if Rogers was not able to make that play. So you can make a play on your side of the center line and then it extends out to the either side of the court, but you can't cross that plane while making a play on the ball. Rogers finished on Hawaii's side, but I think he made the play first. So I don't think they're challenging that. I think they're challenging whether Ball State was in the net or not.
That's not moving now.
Oh, I think
is moving. Well, it looked like Todd also hit it at the end.
I think Indavazicheva hit it first, and then Todd's mad and pulls up the bottom of the net. So that one was clean. Great hustle play by Rogers.
Yeah,
he came from like 30 feet away. We'll look on that far side to see if Indavazicheva hits the net here, or maybe Vanis Buckles. I think Indavazicheva's left elbow got that. And then Todd's mad that he thought he hit it out, so he grabs the net. But you could see Hawkes is already calling for that net violation on Indavazicheva.
Heads up awareness from Hawkes.
Comes with experience.
Did see the net move, though.
Yeah.
When Buckles and Indavazicheva went up for it. They make the change.
And right now that puts Hawaiii up 5. So if you're Ball State, you're trying to make a comeback in this set, or you're just trying to build momentum going into set 4 that you can reset, try to come up with that set victory. So I think right now Cardinals just need to take a breath, settle in, play less frantic than what they're playing right now.
Finn back on the service line. Machado for Indavazicheva. This one doesn't have a net violation.
He's like, okay, I gotta stay out of the net on this play. Just tooling those hands of Voss here. That's a great location for Indavazicheva to tool off of because there's no defender there to cover those blockers for Hawaiii.
Hawkes off of Rogers.
Rogers just smiling after that, like, what else can you do on that one?
Just able to dislocate my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, going up, I was a little bit scared for what was going to happen. I was like, Hawkes is either going to get blocked because of how tight it was, or someone on the other side is going to be in a world of hurt. And it looks like it was Rogers in a world of hurt. That was a tough swing right there by Hawkes.
Hawaii trying to run away with set 3 and take a 2-1 advantage, but out from Rosenthal.
Even though Hawaii's now up to 8 service errors, I'm definitely okay with that just because of how low error they were, no error in the first set. And right now they're really making Ball State have to think about those plays versus missing so obviously out long.
And they started with 6 aces, 0 errors, but since then it's an 8-2 flip of that. But the front line has played so well, they haven't really had to worry about that aspect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when one part of your game is going so well, it's like, okay, the other parts can kind of relax a little bit. They don't have to be as clean, but I think if you're Ball State right now, nothing's really going your way in terms of how clean you're playing. So you're trying to make do with what you got right now. Just quick reset moment. They're down 5. Let's see if they can generate this momentum going into set 4.
It has been a complete flip from the second set. Ball State is only hitting 130 in set 3 compared to Hawaii's 440.
I mean, it's so interesting because we've been talking about that offensive firepower these first 2.5 sets, and now you can see Hawaii's starting to get those inflated numbers. Ball State's a little bit more down to earth, and this is uncharacteristic of Ball State. They don't typically hit this low, but a lot of hitting errors, especially from those outsides in Rogers and Ndavazacheva. So just looking to see if Machado can get a little bit of a cleaner touch out to these outsides because they really do mean a lot for the Ball State offense.
Well, Hawaii is 7th in the country in opponents' hit percentage on the season. Teams only hit 139 for a match, and that's right around where Ball State's sitting in this set. So how we've seen Ball State hit this third set is what Hawaii does to almost every opponent.
Yeah, and that's typical. So I think these first 2 sets were kind of an anomaly for what Hawaii has faced earlier this season. Because right now, Ball State's still hitting over 349 for the match, which is good if you're a Cardinal. If you're a Hawaii fan, you're kind of like, ooh, that's a bit too high for our liking. But this set 3 is what's been more typical of the Hawaii play. Ooh, we're getting a clipping of the net over here. They're cutting off those strings that Ndavazacheva ripped through with a, what is that, a pocket knife?
It does look like a pocket knife. Always got to be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, did you put that on your Miva bingo card this year?
I did not.
You're cutting the net with a pocket knife?
I did not. That's a
first.
At the ready Ball State facilities shout out right there. Didn't think we'd be cutting nets today.
I did not.
Patterson plants one in.
Voss wants that one back. He just got tooled off that block. You could see he just smacks his hands. He's in the right spot, just not pressed over. And so when you're blocking, it's not about how high you get, it's about how far over you get.
Galloway, what a rocket.
And he had hang time on that ball. Rosenthal set that maybe a little bit higher than what Galloway was expecting, but he was able to adjust mid-air. Look, he's hanging.
Oh, goodness.
And just finds that corner that has been so tough for Ball State to defend.
Machado for Rogers, attacks Hawkes. Galloway again, and he is shot down. 3 blockers waiting for him.
That is such a tough ball to hit because you're looking up at the ball. You can't see the blockers in front of your face. Good for Ball State for pressing those hands over, and now they're only down 4. And right now you can feel the energy shift maybe a little bit. I think they need to capitalize on that feeling so that they can start making a stand and try to take this set.
Savitsky Lind has had the hot hand, so they go back to him.
He's been doing great here. He's left kind of in that one-on-one situation. Nooster tries to come over and take that seam, but he just found a way outside of Galloway on that ball.
Did you see his eyes on that one?
Yeah, like
he was looking one way.
Yeah. I like it. We call that like sometimes the no looky cookie. I know.
Can Ball State capitalize off that? And Galloway dumps it home. That felt like it could have been the energizer for Ball State.
It could have.
Savitsky, Lynn, and then Rogers. Hey, it's up there.
He's like, come on, go, it's up. But what I love the most about that is Galloway saying, hey, we gotta win this point. We can't let Ball State use that as that momentum.
That's
so he did
fuel
what he needed
right there.
to do.
That is fuel.
Exactly, right? So if you're Ball State, you get that kick save, that is gonna make Worthen erupt. You gotta get a point when you can if you're Hawaii to stop that place from going crazy.
Machado rears back and flings one home.
And that's the value of a lefty setter, right? Someone that can take those big swings. Machado did it in set 1, didn't see it in set 2. Now he's finally bringing it out in that set 3. That's what I like to see from a lefty setter.
Galloway was just like, okay.
What can he do on that one?
Machado for Savitsky Lind, and he tools the block. That energy has creeped back in for Ball State and the Worthen faithful.
Yeah, this place is on their feet, cheering nice and loud. I've really liked how Savitsky Lind's been playing these last couple of points because he's really starting to have that maturity of someone that has been playing this game for multiple years. And he's only a freshman, so it's been really fun to watch him develop in front of our eyes and grow into someone that could be a staple in Ball State's offense for years to come.
Well, Ball State doesn't reload, it's just a retool. You have seniors that graduate like Caleb Jennis and Felix Edgarepa. You enter in some different players like Savitsky Lind and Patrick Rogers. You're just moving these good players around.
Exactly, and that's the power of Donan Cruz and Ball State, right? They're constantly recruiting players that are going to either fill in those big shoes that were left by former players or people that are going to challenge those players for that playing time. Oh, and Charlie just got knocked down. Had to take a moment. Is he okay?
A.L. Rawwitz giving him a hand.
And he is good.
They hug it out. We're all good. That could have been bad for Buff Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
But Savitsky Lind has not only put up impressive kill numbers, but it's the effectiveness in which he is doing it.
Yeah, he's almost automatic. Every time he's taking that swing, he's been really low error. He only has 3 errors on the night. That gives him that .455 hitting percentage. As a right side, that's exactly what you want. You want to have those higher inflated numbers because that means you're putting so much pressure on the opposing team's defense.
Galloway comes back.
And we have an interesting change here for Hawaii. We have calling in to set. He's someone that was transferred into Hawaii. He had a little bit of an injury to start the season, and now we have Rosenthal on that bench. So I'm looking to see how this change in setter is going to impact the rest of this set.
He's only played in 1 match so far this year. Naperville, Illinois native. Machado leaves it for Ndavazucheva, but it is a Hawaii point.
Unfortunately, his foot crossed that 10-foot line as he was swinging. You can't do that when you're in the back row.
You can see where his foot's at. Yep.
And it's just barely, but enough to get a point to Hawaii.
Set point for the number 4 team in the country. Looking for a 2-1 lead on the road. Rogers. Pit lag for Savitsky Lind, and it trickles around and down.
Kind of a bit of an awkward play all around, but good for Savitsky Lind to keep his body contorted out of that net. Just a little bit of a tight set, and again, he's that right side playing on the outside. It's a little bit different angle of his swing, but he's able to come up with a kill.
Can Hawaii finish off the 3rd set? Machado. And Ndavazucheva rolls shot, but Hawaii stuffs it up front. The momentum Ball State had after a set 2 win in thrilling fashion comes to a screeching halt. Number 4, Hawaii Rainbow Warriors off to a 2-1 set lead on the road, looking for 15 straight road victories.
Fatigue not a factor here for a Hawaii team that's over 2,400 miles from the mainland United States. They lead Ball State 2-1, but despite the fact that Hawaii has just 9 of its 29 matches on the road here the rest of the season, they're still going to travel for thousands more miles than does Ball State. But this is a team that is used to the jet lag, and they are playing really well here through 3 sets. Mick, Amber, back to you.
Yeah, Sam, Hawaii after this road trip goes home for 11 straight matches. So their travel schedule is a little bit different than most schools, and they have to kind of piggyback some of these travels. Played against Purdue Fort Wayne Thursday and Friday, had Saturday off yesterday, and then back on the court today. That's a tough turnaround.
It is, but it's a very strategic turnaround, right? Like you were saying, that's a lot of time on the road, so you have to make do with those times that you do get to stay at home. So I'm sure they are ready to get back for their 10-match home streak and kind of continue the trend that they have had these last couple of matches.
And back to 80 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was snowing this morning.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I wish I was somewhere else. Somewhere warm.
Somewhere warm. Three sets in the books, and Hawaii off to a 2-1 advantage. They're 64-13 against current MIVA teams, and they're 3-1 this season. They lost against Loyola Chicago, won against Loyola Chicago, took both against Purdue Fort Wayne, and then after today, they just have one more against a MIVA foe. That's Lewis later in the season on March 7th. So some familiarity with Midwest volleyball this year on the road trips. Here's Trent Rosenthal, member of the U.S. Beach National Team and Training Program since 2021. Freshman setter has been electric, and so is Patrick Rogers.
That was a great swing by Rogers, running that big in the back row. Right off of Patterson, you could see Voss went up with him. Choi almost got a great dig on that. He just put his body on the line. I wish he would have come up with a huge dig because that was fun to watch.
Voss sends it right back through Rogers.
He really wanted that one. He missed that block on the one before. He's like, okay, now I got to send this one to the ground. Great swing by Voss.
Today, Voss is 6 for 7 with no errors, .857 hit percentage. Amber, Voss has never hit below .477 in a season in his 4-year Hawaii career.
Wow, that's
for a middle,
impressive.
it's even impressive.
Yeah.
Missed timing there from Ball State. And middles typically have a higher average, right?
Exactly.
That's what we see, but for Voss to be that efficient.
Especially now with a new setter, right? So he has had Jakob Tele for the last 4 years and really developed a strong connection with him. That's why his hitting percentage was that high, over 400. So having Rosenthal come in as a freshman, new setter, developing a great connection with Voss, that's what you want to see if you're a Hawaii fan.
And talk about new setter. Last couple of sets from Machado to Ndava-Zucheva just haven't gone well.
Yeah, and Ball State tries to typically run a super fast offense to their outsides. There's a little bit of a missed timing here. Ndava-Zucheva and Machado both want those last 2 sets back to try to get a good connection.
And Machado instead takes it himself.
Sometimes you just got to do that. If nothing's working, take it over on 1 or 2 as a setter. But that's what the power of Lucas Machado being left-handed. He can throw that ball down with authority. Again, he hasn't done it too often, so Hawaii's not really thinking about him. They're thinking about Ndava-Zucheva on that outside. So Lucas Machado should start mixing in those tips a little more.
The strum of the guitar celebration for Ndava-Zucheva with an ace.
And you can see people in Worthen Arena joining in on the guitar strum of that celebration here. That's the power of Mr. T, just able to get everyone in on it.
Almost at a second. Todd puts it through the hands of Ndava-Zucheva.
Again, Todd's just one of those steady Eddie players. He knows how to play this game, and he got that set a little bit inside. He throws it thumb down as a righty, gets it right off the hands of Ndava-Zucheva.
Voss back to serve. Patterson goes quick. Career best 5 kills for him tonight.
What I love about that play is nobody was thinking about Patterson, right? That was a great pass. He's running a route behind the setter. We can call that a C-ball sometimes. And you could see Galloway wasn't even thinking about him. Tried to dive back in, couldn't come up with a block.
We've seen a lot of Patterson tonight. No Will McPhillips, no Aaron Hernandez, no Dyer Ball, no Rodney Wallace so far for Ball State that have played. Patterson has pole vaulted all of them for playing time right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is with what he's been able to do. When he's out there, he's able to manipulate that court. Even though he only has those 5 kills, he's just giving all he's got, and that's really making Ball State kind of really, you know, something that Hawaii has to think about a little bit more.
Savitsky Lind off the mark here.
A little bit of a mistiming here. You can see that in this set to start, Machado is running that tempo a little bit differently than what his hitters are looking for. So looking to just see that cleaned up a little bit. You want to be in that flow state when you're playing. Right now, it looks like Ball State's just trying to do a little too much right now, and that pulls you out of that flow state.
All flow for Hawaii.
Yeah, they're rocking it. They're feeling settled in. It's almost like they're on their home court right now in the Sands Sheriff Center.
And Donan Cruz feels that too, with 2 kills and 2 aces so far for Hawaii. Ball State has to regroup, down 4 against the nation's number 4 squad, Hawaii. "83 straight weeks that Hawaii has been ranked in the top 4 of the national poll, and a good reason why is they're the winningest team in the NCAA since 2015.
I mean, you can't complain about that. They know how to win, and they know how to win well. They have won multiple national championships within the last couple of years here. And I love that they did the back-to-back 2 years ago. That was super fun to watch. Unfortunately, it was at the hands of Ball State in the semifinals, but it was super fun to just watch this team start to come alive, and they're recruiting players that are bettering the history and the success before them. So I think if you're a Hawaii fan, you're really glad that your program's in the place that it is right now.
Well, the Big West has only been in existence as it is since 2018. And Hawaii has 3 Big West tournament titles, 2019, 22, and 23. You mentioned the national championships in 21 and 22. What really jumps off the charts, 6 NCAA tournament trips in the last 9 seasons. This is just a program that Charlie Wade has made a tough out against anybody.
Yeah, I mean, when you see Hawaii on your schedule, you kind of get a little nervous just with how successful this program has been.
Todd serves it away as the Rainbow Warriors up 4. Rogers puts one home.
And that's what Rogers does best. He knows that his team needs a kill, so he finds a way to get it. And that was just that awkward tip off the hand of Rosenthal to come up with a big point.
Lefty Machado pushes long.
Machado changed up his serve in set 3. He had been doing that jump topspin serve. Now he's changed it to that float serve. So I think that might be throwing him off his rhythm a little bit. And he's not able to find the court as successfully as he had earlier.
Pitlack puts one near the video board. And Rogers flings it down.
That was a great set by Machado on that one. Reverse that flow. Again, going to Rogers. Rogers is the only one as of lately that has been finding a way to score. And now he's in the back row. So I'm looking to see if they'll use him in the back row. They'll continue to use that outside in Ndava Zucheva.
Rosenthal takes matters into his own hands.
Yeah, that's a quick little play. Galloway's diving on the floor, get that ball up, and Rosenthal's like, okay, I'll just send it over quick. No one was able to get that for Ball State. That's the power of having a setter in that front row. You got to utilize those opportunities to score while you can.
How about these two freshman centers? These two are going to be good for a really long time.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch the success of these programs going forward with these two at the helm of the offense.
And at the helm of the offense is Hawkes. Hawkes with 13 kills tonight. All-American second team last year, All-Big West first team a year ago. Hitting .312 tonight. There's Nooster. Machado for Ndavazucheva. Those two just have not been on the same page here in the third set.
No, it looks like Ndavazucheva is trying to run faster than what Machado's giving him, and that's that mistiming that he's already landing as that ball is passing into his kill zone.
Remember, freshman center, third game back for Ndavazucheva after missing the first 9 matches, so chemistry is there to be built.
And not unexpected, but we might see a switch here. We might see Bartz coming in, subbing in, maybe for Ndavazucheva, maybe for someone else in the back row. Just try to shore up the offense somehow. Because right now with the way Ball State's been passing these last couple of points, they aren't able to get their middles involved as much. And so if you're Ball State, you want to find something. And that might just mean subbing in someone to provide a spark off that bench and see what you can start to get going, because right now it's do or die. Hawaii's already up 2 sets, so you've got to come up with a point or a set win in this match to keep it going to 5.
Hawkes, the senior from Greece, dominating so far tonight. 13 kills, has just put the pace in his back pocket.
He's been so fun to watch this match just because of how much confidence he plays with. I mean, he really is just feeling himself right now, and I love that he started off the match with 2 aces in a row. I think that was really setting the tone for what he was going to do for Hawaii this season, and I've really been proud of how he's been playing for him.
He's quickly nearing 100 kills already this season. He is up to 94, and today is the 7th match of the season for Hawaii.
They have a long way to go for the rest of the season. They're looking to be playing into May, so I'm sure we'll see that number.
You're looking at 300 to 400.
Yeah, exactly, easily.
Machado, the tapper for Rogers. Hawkes. Bart's first swing of the night, and it was not touched up front. Bart's first action of the evening. He comes in averaging almost 12 kills per match the last 4 that he's played in. So you mentioned during the break, he could possibly be that spark, and they went right to him on his first try.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was not an ideal situation for him. They were playing a little bit out of system. And of course, when you come into a match, you want to try to get a kill on your first swing, but a little too much for him.
First error from Nooster. Both teams with 9 service errors. The difference is Hawaii started off with 6 aces and no errors.
Still relatively low error overall, especially thinking about where both of these teams have in the past been with their service error.
What a swing from Voss. Went to Xander Pink.
And he's still perfect. So if you're Hawaii, you're going to keep feeding him when you have those opportunities, when you have those perfect passes, because right now he's just able to put that ball away.
He was on the Brazil junior national team for 3 seasons. All-American the last couple of years. Hawkes stopped, but Choi again. Back to Hawkes and slammed down from Patterson.
There we go, and that just revitalized Worthen Arena, getting that quick block on that play. Good for Hawaii for trying to cover, trying to make that work, but when you got a triple block up like that, it's going to find the floor.
Voss. Not to be denied this time.
As he's falling to the ground, he's holding up his arms in that outside sign saying, it was out, it was out. I love it. He's aware of where he's at on the court at all times.
One of the most impactful middle blockers that you'll see in the country.
Right now, Ball State has got to utilize when Hawaii is making those errors to continue to push for those points. Down 6, they easily could come back and make this a closer set, but they really have to take full advantage of those mistakes.
Galloway, there's 4 defenders converging, but Galloway wins it. Galloway entered tonight with 28 kills in the season. He is going to walk away with at least 10 tonight.
A very efficient 10 as well, too, hitting 474. He only has 1 error. I believe I had jinxed him. He was perfect.
He was.
Then I said he was perfect. Then he made an error. And
he's probably going to only finish with 1 error.
Right. So hopefully that's all the damage that I do on his hitting percentage.
Out to Rogers, plants one home.
Rogers has been the only Cardinal as of lately that's been able to find a way to score some points here. So now that he's back in that front row rotation, they have to utilize him to continue to push for these points.
Rogers puts it back.
That's a great heads-up play because he got the block, and then off of his block, it was over on his side, so he decided to take the swing for it.
Wow, that's heads up.
That is, right? He was able to land, jump back up, get that swing. I didn't love it, but he executed it well, so sometimes it works.
Rogers this time just shut down by Todd.
That was a great block by Todd. He was all over that one. Rogers had nowhere else to hit but into Todd's hands.
We've talked a ton about Todd's offense today, but now he has been a part of 2 blocks. He had 12 kills, but then 8 digs. He's been a versatile piece.
Yeah, I think he's exactly what Hawaii needs on that right side pin. Someone that's going to be steady, front row, back row, offensively, defensively.
Out to Rogers. Seeps through.
And that's tough because on that one, Todd rotates into the back row and they sub in Kevin Calling for him. So now we have a new setter. We have a new right side. They got a touch, but we're kind of like not really sure who's taking what ball because we have new players out on the court.
Rogers creeping close to his 19 kills on a season high. He's at 13. This one flies into the stands. Sakanoko into the action for the first time.
It's nice that Hawaii feels comfortable that they can insert players into the match and see what they can do. It's giving those people those game experiences because you can practice well all you want, but when you face an opponent that's not your own team, how are you going to respond?
Up front, Hawaii doing some work.
Tooling that triple block again. Right now you have Savitsky Lind hitting and blocking on the outside. He typically hits and blocks on the right side. Got Patrick Rogers on the right side. So everyone's kind of all out of sorts, all out of whack. Hawkins used it to his advantage.
Petlak feeds Savitsky Lind. Back to the freshman. And it feels like Hawaii is just starting to assert its dominance here at set 4.
And this is something that if you're a Hawaii fan, you're happy to see, right? When Ball State took that second set, it's kind of like, okay, where's this gonna go with how well Ball State played in that second set? But I think Hawaii started to settle into their rhythm. This is the Hawaii that teams know and fear.
There's Buckles a twirl home.
And he's been super quiet as of lately, so I'm glad that he's coming in, getting a kill when needed. Hopefully they can start feeding him a little bit more, because right now, I don't think Hawaii's thinking about Ball State's middles too much.
Well, last season, Buckles hit 6th. A .462 hit percentage was 6th best in program history. Here's a service error this season. Buckles only hitting .256, has been in and out of the lineup so far this year, trying to find a groove.
And again, a lot of that is adjusting to a new setter, adjusting to passers that are trying to lay this ball into the setter. A lot of moving parts. So I expect, as of right now, middle hitting percentage to be a little bit lower.
Pitlack for Savitsky and Lynn. Well, Pim took a tumble into the seats.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty hard fall. You could see Coach Charlie Wade saying, okay, I got you. It's okay.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness, his feet didn't got up underneath that seat.
But that's the thing about Thim. He goes all out all the time, and he's one of those Energizer bunnies that really gives a spark to Hawaii.
Voss, automatic in the middle.
That's another person who gives a spark to Hawaii right now. His hitting percentage is 800 right now. Incredible. 8 for 10. 9 for 10. He's hitting 900.
They've been a part of 4 blocks. It's been an all-around night for Voss. And the freshman from France, Sakanoko, flings it out. So the French national team, U22 ranks. Been around the national team setting since U15, so he has great experience and just another piece for Coach Wade to insert. Machado for Bart. Machado lines up a swing. This time, Galloway's ready for it. Ooh, in the front block for Ball State's ready for that swing from Hawkins.
Ball State's blockers were up and ready for this. I love when a setter gets a good block like that, especially with how well Hawkins has been swinging. For Machado to be able to redirect and get up on that ball, he did a nice job sealing that net.
Sakanoko.
I think that was the first, maybe second swing that he's taken all match. I mean, he really has a cannon for an arm. Sorry, excuse me. That was his 4th swing. He has a lot of heat on that arm, and he just put that on full display.
Bartz finds ground.
Great tool by Bartz on that play. Again, not every hit has to be hit super hard. It has to be smart, and he did a nice job of tooling that block.
Ball State close to get on Hawaii here. Would take an epic run against the number 14 in the country to put it to 5 sets, but this is a way to do it.
Yeah, just staying within your own lane, laying that serve inside that court, taking those good swings, getting those good kills when you needed to, playing that steady game that they had played in set 2.
Match point.
Little bit of a jinx there, probably from us.
Nah.
Saying play steady and then miss serve.
The handoff to Voss to try and end this for Muncie. Rainbow Warriors looking for 15 straight road wins. Savitsky Lind keeps it inside.
This is a great pass. Machado had all of his options there, deciding to use Savitsky Lind in that back row because he had been coming up with so many kills for the Cardinals.
And the nation's winningest team since 2015 is picking up another one. Number 4, Hawaii, moves to 6-1 on the season. They take down Ball State in 4 sets with a commanding 4th set win.
And that's what Hawaii volleyball is all about, right? That's how they've been able to dismantle their opponents for the last multiple years in a row. And so coming in after after that second set, they probably got a little nervous. We're feeling a little bit like, hey, teams don't usually do that to us. They reset after that break, and it was a pretty convincing win for sets 3 and 4 for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Lots of defense and lots of offense today. 333 or higher for both teams. The blocks were aplenty, and overall pretty even through the stats.
Yeah, I was actually surprised with how the scores have been and how that energy in the gym was, how evenly matched statistically these two teams were, but it's kind of like those back and forth sets. Set 2 for Ball State was really low error. Set 4 for Hawaii was really low error, and that's why we got those similar stat lines here.
Ball State had more kills, more blocks, but less aces and just a little bit lower of a hit percentage. Spiros Hakas led everybody with 14 kills for Hawaii. Galloway jumped in on the double-digit action with 10. Todd with 12 kills. Voss was right behind them with 9.
Almost. I wanted
swings.
him to get 10 swings and be perfect because of how well he's been playing.
Upcoming schedule for Hawaii, so they head home for 11 straight matches. Tusculum's on the schedule for a couple, the number 6 Stanford, and then Missouri SAT on February 22nd. So they go home, play those 11 straight matches, but they do have a nice break between Stanford and Missouri SAT for the Rainbow Warriors schedule. It's Sam with the winning head coach, Charlie Wade.
Thanks, Mick. Coach, congratulations on the win. You got it done throughout the entire road trip. What does it mean to you to be able to win in your home state?
Well, it's nice to win in every state, you know. So, I moved out of Indiana in 1981. That was probably before your parents were born. So, look, we got a chance to play a couple really established programs and that play good volleyball, great venues to play in, and happy to get a couple wins here on the road.
And you've got a freshman phenom in Tread Rosenthal. What does it mean to have his leadership? How has he been able to get it done as just a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, he's 17 years old, should still be in high school. It's not all pretty and wonderful all the time, but great kid, hard worker, and obviously really talented. We're thrilled to have him.
Congrats on the win, Coach. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you. Aloha.
That's Charlie Wade, 15th year head coach for Hawaii. Just continues to stack up more and more wins. 4-set win for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Ball State drops to 7-5 as the number 15th ranked team in the country. For our entire crew here tonight, led by Eric Perrin and Alex Seitz back in the control room. Sam Niger over on sidelines. And my partner Amber Seaman. I'm Mick Tidrow saying so long here from Muncie. The Rainbow Warriors victorious in 4 sets. You can check out this replay on Watch ESPN and all ESPN replays. This has been a presentation of ESPN for Muncie.